Hey guys, it's Caleb from KCNE Studios, and today I'm going to be reviewing the fifth movie in the Gamera trilogy, or the Showa Gamera trilogy. This is Gamera versus Guiron. So, as always, I'll do the story, then I'll get to the my final thoughts and stuff like that. So, the story goes that there's this rumor of like they got these sound signals or something from outer space, and then it basically cuts to the main characters, which are kids again, which are really annoying, especially if you're watching this from the American dub version. The subtitle version isn't as bad, but I don't like having children as the main characters, and I've talked about this in the last one. So then from there, they're introduced. They basically they like outer space stuff, I guess. So they're watching their they're looking through their telescope. They find an alien spaceship by some chance, and they go out and they basically the next day they find the spaceship and they go inside it, and they basically automatically, like, pretty much already knew how to fly it somehow, and they end up flying into outer space, and they accidentally land on the planet that it came from, which really, thinking about it now, doesn't really make sense. Like, I just watched this, but really that doesn't really make sense. On the way they saw Gamera, but Gamera like saved them or something, but then their rocket or their spaceship or whatever was too fast for Gamera, and it ended up flying away, and Gamera ended up having to catch up later. So they land on their planet, which is, it's a lot like Planet X from Invasion of the Astro Monster, but it has buildings and stuff in it, and there's water and stuff. But they land on the planet Terra, T-E-R-A, which is the 10th planet, apparently, after not Jupiter, Pluto or something like that. And so, yeah, they go there, and then this scene is actually pretty cool. When they get off of their spaceship, they end up, like, walking around and looking at stuff. But Guiron is introduced. He comes out, and then automatically, like, a space Gauss appears, which is basically just Gauss from the third Gamera movie, but he's like silvery. And this is what I like about the movie compared to the other ones. There's another fight scene other than Gamera and the monster that he fights, which is pretty cool. It's Guiron versus another monster, Gauss, Space Gauss, like I just said. And man, Gauss gets his butt whooped. Like, you thought Gauss was overpowered? See Guiron in this movie. Guiron is a total boss. So basically what happens is Space Gauss, he shoots his like laser beam thing at Guiron's like blade head, and the laser beam like bounces off the blade head and like cuts off Gauss's foot. Like, that's just how powerful the Gauss beams are. They're like so OP. I can't even stress like how overpowered their beams are. It's crazy insane. It just chopped off his leg just like that with one little shot. It was crazy. And then Gauss goes to fly away, but then Guiron jumps up and cuts off one of his wings, and Gauss is just lying there. Guiron comes over and chops off his head and like a couple other parts, and then it's pretty violent, I know, for a kids movie, right? But then what's creepy is Gauss's head keeps moving and talking and stuff. It's like, what the heck? Well, that's a little creepy. So yeah, then the two main characters, they end up walking around. They find these two aliens, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's a plot that I really could care less for, and it would bore me just to talk about it, to be honest. There's also a side plot with one of the kids' sisters, little sisters or something like that, like, went and told her mom that they went on the spaceship, and of course she didn't believe her. Then she went to the policeman, and he believed her. So then there's like this whole side plot of them trying to look for them, but they obviously don't because they're in space. And then later, Gamera comes back, and he fights Gauss, which is, it's an alright fight. I mean, it's not that great. Although Guiron, he does, with his giant blade head, he manages to cut Gamera open in the shell, like in the back of his shell. He like makes him bleed. It's crazy. He's awesome. Like he is an awesome kaiju, I have to say. Some may say he's, you know, dull and boring, which I guess his design isn't that great, but still, I mean, I like it. I think it's a pretty cool design. Put the movie aside, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, they have their fight scene, which is pretty long, actually. There's also the plot with, like, the kids trying to escape the aliens, because the aliens were trying to eat their brains all along. So, yeah, they managed to, like, kill them with a giant missile, which is really nice for a bunch of children. And with the help of the children, so they were going to shoot this missile, these two missiles at Guiron. One of them hit a building that one of the aliens was in, and then the other, Gamera catches, and he sticks the missile through, like, there's this part of Guiron's head, which has, like, little, it's a soft spot, and it has, like, these little ninja stars that he can, like, telepathically shoot out, which is kind of weird, but it's still pretty cool, which is, I guess, his ranged attack. But Missile sticks the missile inside that part of his head, and he sets it on fire and explodes it, and basically, I don't know how, but it chops him in half, which makes total sense. And then Gamera gets the children, and then brings them home, and it's a happy ending. So, for everyone but the viewers, of course. So, my final thoughts on this movie is, well, it's definitely not as bad as the last Gamera movie, I'll say that, but it's still really bad. For a kids movie, there's a whole lot of, like, decapitation and blood from all the monsters in these monster movies. That's something I noticed. Like, the Showa movies that are supposed to be kid-friendly and stuff, they got a lot of, like, blood and gore from the monsters, which I find really ironic. Doesn't bother me at all, though, because I could care less. I kind of like it, I guess, though. I don't know. Unless it's cheesy like in this movie. But yes, this movie is extremely cheesy. The aliens are not that great at being aliens. The characters are all boring. The plot is boring. Everything about this movie is boring. But I guess besides the fight scenes. My favorite scene, though, is definitely the one with Gauss and Guiron fighting. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, so on a scale of 1 to 5, I would definitely give it a 1. Like I said, it's not as bad as the last one, but not by that much. Just because, well, the only reason I like it better is because Guiron, for one, is a better monster. For two, they're not on a spaceship the whole time. They're on a planet, which I guess adds a little more interest. And for three, the fight with Gauss. But that doesn't really compensate for much, because it's still a really awful movie. But, I mean, hard to say. For the Gamera kids movies, this may be the best one just because of the fight with Guiron and Gauss. But yeah, that's, I guess that's all I have to say about this movie. Only check it out, I would say, if you're a hardcore, extremely hardcore kaiju fan and you want to collect everything, something like that. If not, you know, it's just a waste of time. Unless you're getting the Gamera Legacy collection, in which is one DVD that has every single Gamera movie besides the latest one. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's worth it because it's just one DVD and it comes with all of them. It's like $6, but yeah, this movie, not that great. The only reason I would go back to it is like to skip to the fight scenes or something. But yeah, so anyways, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you have enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye-bye.